What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It has been a while, I should say. Sorry for the quietness in the start of the video, guys. You should be getting some sound now. Just turn that down a bit so you guys can hear me properly. So right, this is about your ranger, guys. So playing your ranger, you need to level to at least level 40. And a few things to be wary about. You got your blessing first of all. So I use the wolf blessing. You got overload, which is just increase of arrows. You don't need to max that. You can if you want, but you don't need to max it. Fully prepare, it increases your attack power, crit rate. So definitely you want to max that. That's probably one of the first thing you want to max. Natural instinct, it increases skill damage. You want these two to be your two top priority if you're using Wolf to max, because this increase the damage, that increase your attack power and your crit damage, which makes you do more damage. And then you got your instinct, which increases your crit rate by 10% once max. I mean, your crit rate can always build up as time go by, so that can be your last thing in the list to max, but these two would be your ideal first to max for your wolf blessing, and that's if you want to play with a wolf. And the skills that you use would be erupting arrows, tempest valley, thunder arrows, or bottomless quiver. So your bottomless quiver, it does boost your damage for wolf. So once you activate your bottomless quiver, that increases your damage and you do more damage by that. So these are the four things that you want to use as an wolf. And if we go over to build, the thing for wolf is wolf and the CM, they're quite similar build. So like if you're building for like a wolf and you want to go for a CM, not very much stuff that you need to change. So you can actually build the same type of build for both of them. But as we're talking about wolf, for your, I'm using the the best bow in the game, which is the retribution bow. Yeah, it does take a while for you to get this bow, to be honest. But if you don't got a bow, ideally you go for possible increased damage and crit rate, or crit rate and crit and AP and your bow, and that can go for crit rate and AP. Definitely go for your Crescent Moon Ranger. Crit rate, crit damage does go well for your wolf, but if you do got like a crit rate and AP, you can use it for both wolf and CM. And going down for your quiver, you use crit damage as much as you can get for stat. Your runes are quite important. So if we go to runes, so as we got like the current rune here, as we got the current runes here, like 14, 14, 28. The red runes, they signify AP. The yellow runes, they're normally for like crit damage. Yep, they're normally for they're normally for the effect. And the purple is normally going for crit damage. The white is normally go for crit rate in that sense. So that's how those runes work. The main runes here that you want to be having for your wolf or Crescent Moon would be yellow, red, a bit of purple, or a bit of white. Those are the four runes that you want to focus on, but the main two that you want to focus on is your yellow and red. Those two are your main runes in the game for your build, for your ranger. Green, it's kind of like, it can give you a build, but you will be missing so much if you go green build, to be fair. So for ranger, green doesn't really cut it for your build. So you want to focus, so building your ranger, once you reach level 40, you want to be working on getting your runes correctly, like 20, and like red and yellow, you want to get those up to as high as you can. The stat, I wouldn't worry too much about the stat. If the runes are perfect, I will keep the stat no matter what, because you got the option here to regrant effect, and within this effect, like this bow, well, not that one, because that's just gonna give you, always gonna give you like a potion cooldown or something like that. You're always gonna get like a red type of effect. Yeah, the fire damage, you're always gonna get fire damage. Only thing gonna change is the unique effect below. Right, so for this bow here, Awakened Successor bow, once you can regrant it, and regranting this bow, you can get whatever stat listed here. So you got AP here between 163 to 1400, and at the top it's crit damage. So here you only can get crit damage plus one of the listed options down below, which is the best down there is AP and crit rate and crit damage. So there's a possibility for you to get something with your crit damage. The Radiant bow, that bow allow you to get double AP or crit damage in AP. So here you can have AP for your first stat, below you can have AP for your second stat. So you can definitely max out your AP and your bow, which is not quite guaranteed to use double stat AP. I would say to always mix it with a crit damage or crit rate for better effect, I would say, or to do better damage, like 100%. So as I say, those goes with your build. If we go back in and we go down to like necklace, so your necklace would be between Krutide or Fierce Arc, but for Wolf, Krutide is ideal for me, but you can have Fierce Arc necklace with good stat, because red and purple does go well with not red and yellow. So with the Fierce Arc necklace, it's red and yellow build on it, and with the Crude ring, it would be red and yellow and white build on it as well. So you're kind of better off going with a Fierce Arc necklace and a Crude ring if you get a good one. But if you get a good Crude necklace, I would say keep it and build on it. So that's one of the thing. But as I said, once you focus on your runes, you can also be able to grab a necklace that can go with your runes. If you get a necklace that is OP with good stat, then you're gonna be building up those runes to unlock, to open up that necklace. So here it's telling me that I only got like 14 yellows. If I have 19 yellows, this Fierce Arc number 1 would open, and I would get that effect of 16% crit rate, and I would minus 35% crit damage, but the second stat is giving me 35% crit damage, so therefore I don't lose any crit damage from this, and I don't gain any. So basically all I'm gaining from this is just crit rate, and that's literally about that's literally about the stat, guys, how that actually work with that stat. And additional to that, you also got pets. So pet can give you an increase of skill level, and if you get a pet with a skill level that you're using, when you go over to your skills, when you go over to your skills, these max added, like this is +4, so I got something that actually added +1, +2, +3, and +4 for my skill to be up to +4. So your pet can give you that as well. You got talisman as well, so you can have a talisman that can actually give you your skills as well. If you get your skills, you can get up to +3 from these talisman if you're lucky enough. But I would say that there is no specific format to have these talisman. The only thing is you can't use a purple talisman here and use a purple anywhere else. You only can use one color of one shape in any of these slots, whether it's a circle, triangle, square, or pentagonal. I mean, it would be good if we could, because then you could be able to get like better stats in that sense. And yeah, that's literally about your build for your ranger. For your pants, you want to go full crit rate. For your gloves, you want to go AP, full AP or AP and crit rate if you're doing Crescent Moon Ranger. If you're doing Wolf, you want to go full AP, because you want as much AP as possible. Your shoulder is always going to be crit damage, which is easy enough. Your waist, you can't get any type of waist that is not defense or XP or anything, but you can make an S belt that gives you crit damage, and you can I'll have to make a video in that where you get a no I'm actually made a video in that should be on my list, where I made the S belt that give you crit damage. That's the only way that a ranger can get crit damage from the belt. So the S plus belt is literally useless in some sense for a ranger, I should say. But yeah, that's literally about your ranger, guys. We'll do the same for the other classes. The priest, I don't have a priest class, so I would have to talk about the priest. But the other thing as well, guys, that all of the ranger equipments, secondary and primary weapon is just for the ranger, but from helmet to waist, it can also be used for your assassin, but you have to unbind it first before you can transfer it to your assassin. So ranger and assassin use the same class. Mage and priest use the same equipment, and Zerk and Crusader, they use the same equipments as well. So that's something to bear in mind. So you can build your ranger and change your mind and move to assassin and move over your gears to your assassin, or you can build your assassin and move your gear over to your ranger, which is totally fine. So you can do that with your A gears when you're like leveling up. So if you do your bits with your ranger, or you do your bit with your assassin and you want to work on your ranger now, you can move your A gear over to your storage onto your ranger for your ranger to pick it out of storage. And you can do the same for your priest and mage, the same for your Zerk and Crusader. Just keep putting your A gear in storage. I mean, A gear are very easy to get, so possible no need to do it. But if you do got like some max A gear, you can always move them about. Obviously they're level bounded, so your character has to be like in line, like same level, to be using the same tier A gear. And that's about it for the ranger, guys. Hope this video helped you guys a lot. Well, you got a wardrobe where you got your outfit where you get your increased skill one. I totally forgot to add that to it. Yeah, so you can get that from costume as well, so you can add your skills up to +10, I believe is the max. and that will just help you to increase your damage a bit by bit, I would say. And don't worry about whatever skills that you max out first. You always can refresh the amount, the skills token, so you can use it again on any skills. The only thing you can't reset is whatever you use for the blessings. So whatever blessings that you level up, you can't refresh it to get back the bread that you use for the blessing. But for your skills, you can always refresh them any amount of time that you want. Thank you guys.